Hello guys, welcome to another video. It's me, the sports conversationalist, and today we are here to talk about the breakout star for each Premier League team this season. Let's get into it. First, Liverpool, Rio Ngomoa. Now, Rio Ngomoa is a special case for me because he's a teenager, a winger, a very skillful winger, a very deceptive winger with his movements. But when I mean he will break out this year, I mean as like a legit bench spark, like a legit bench spark plug. Because I think for the setup they have right now, I think he's a very good complement to Cody Gakpo and how he plays. Because I think Gakpo is more of a direct winger, get the ball in his feet. He'll cut in, he'll take his defender on a little bit, cut in and curl the ball, or cross the ball, or make a shot creation action. But for Rio Ngumoa, Rio is more of like a Kivara type dribbler. Give me the ball, I'll take on my man. Give me the ball, I'm running. And I think for a young talent to get the chance to be like a backup or to understudy like one of the best left wingers in the world, which I think Gakpo is, and be his understudy and be a reliable bench player. I think that in that sense he'll break out this. And secondly, the reason why I couldn't pick any other Liverpool players is because I think either most of them in the team are already established, well known, or if I'm to classify any of them as breakout, it means they are going to step up another level. And I don't think anyone at Liverpool is going to do that this season. Yes. Next, Chelsea, João Pedro. Now, João Pedro was bought for 55 million from Brighton this summer, and he's hit the ground running. And he's on fire. Since the time since the 3 games he played for at the Club World Cup, where he scored in each game, scoring bangers on bangers, and even the final chipping Donnarumma, which is a bit crazy, not gonna lie. For João Pedro, I think what makes him the next breakout star, I think he's the next up to be like the next bona fide striker in the Premier League. I'm talking 25 plus GAs. I think with the way his play style is, that could match up to maybe 15 goals, 10 assists, or maybe 20, 18 goals, 7 assists, something of that sort. I think João Pedro is a threat up top. He can also drop up. He can also drop in the 10. And I think for what Carlo Ancelotti wants to do for Brazil, I think you are looking at your next Seleção striker, a big number 9, a very talented number 9, and I think he's also very young, which is crazy. But yes, for Chelsea, I had to go with João Pedro. Next, Arsenal, Calafiori. Now, people might see this pick and think, what do you mean Calafiori? When's the last season Miles Lewis Kelly was bossing it up on left back and even got his England call up? And first things first, I think Miles Lewis Kelly himself is more of a midfielder than a left back. And two, let's not forget how last season started. Calafiori started a bit of the games, then had that injury, and Skelly slotted him perfectly. Not perfectly, but slotted in to do his job. I think now with this season, especially at the start of the season where Arteta seems to prefer Calafiori more as a left back, I think this season he's going to lock down that position as his, like stamp down as his. And even though he has some good competition in Pure and Capi, I think for actual left backs, I think he's up there. Ball, when it comes to actual football, ball playing ability for a defender is out of this world. Let's not forget how he was playing at the Euros for Italy. Let's not forget that goal he assisted to Mrs. Zakani. Let's not act like he wasn't he wasn't prized by a lot of European teams when he was at Basel. I think this season, especially of how wishy washy it was last season, I think this season he locks down that spot, and it's one of the best fullbacks in the league by the end of the season. That's my prediction. Next, Tottenham, Papi Matassa. Now, this might be a bit controversial, but I think when, especially under Thomas Frank, when he picks his starting level, I think the first name on his list might be Papi Matassa. Why do I say that? Under Thomas Frank wants about two things from his players in general. He wants you to play hard and he wants you to press. And when it comes to relentless running and playing hard, this guy has like four lungs. He has the stamina of maybe a Kante, maybe not the body frame because he's more of a lanky midfielder than a stocky Kante type. But in terms of the stamina, he has good stamina. Um, he's more of a jack of all trades, master of none. He's playing in the six. I think he's a very good eight because of how good he runs. And I think I've seen him double a little bit in the 10, but I don't think that's his role though. But for versatility, he's up there. I think for this season he could genuinely be one of the best midfielders in the league. But not even adding any caveats. Period. And I won't be shocked. I think this guy is he's next up. He's next up. I won't be shocked if in about a year or two maybe a Madrid is hitting his line. I won't be shocked. Next, Everton, James Garner. But I'm sure Manchester United fans in while watching the video, I think you guys will cover your ears for this. Hot take. I think if James Garner was still at Man United, I think he might be the answer to the eighth problem that United have right now, where in Amorim's system. I think James Garner is he's a very technical player. I think he's a bit versatile because I think he's being deployed off at left back a little bit at the start of this season for David Moyes. I think he's a very good player, and yeah, I genuinely believe he could be maybe a top 15 CM in the league. I think he can solidify maybe a French England call up a little bit because I think he's up there. He's a good player, but yeah, especially for Everton, I can't really pick. Maybe people would say I should go with the Jack Grealish because of how many assists he's racked up. I think you see that start to dry up very soon. But again, that's fun. That's another video for another day. Next, Sunderland, Habib Diarra. Now, most people don't know this. No, most people don't know this, but this guy was one of the first signings for he was one of the first signings during the time where Strasbourg and Chelsea became sister clubs. This guy top he's a top tier. I won't say elite, but he's a top tier. Very very good progressor of the ball. He's a bit physical. He's an eight, and he has a long pass that you guys can just check it out. Yeah, he has a long pass that he likes to ping across his body, and it's money almost every time. I think Habib Diarra, even if Sunderland do go there, I think he'll get them moved to a bigger club very very soon, and I won't be shocked for sure. Next, Bournemouth, Marcos Senesi. Now, for Bournemouth last season, I think everyone basically just hyped up, not even hyped up, but sang the praises of Dean Howson and Milos Kerkez and Antoine Semenyo and maybe, let's say, Justin Kluivert. But the person who always went underrated is this guy, Marcos Senesi. Marcos Senesi this season is literally proven to FPL users why they have to have him in the team all the time. This guy is bar none, especially at the start of this season, bar none the best tackler in the league. He is the best tackler in the league this season. And I think especially with Housen being on, he will have more responsibility on his plate for a bit more of his ball carrying or ball playing activity to go up a little bit, because he's being partnered by Bafode Diakite, another youngster from France. But I think the responsibilities will go up, and I think he will be up for it. I think Marcos Senesi is a very, very good a solidified Premier League centre back, and I think he might break out and get and get a bit more recognition. Yeah, those are things you like to see, though. So, yes, Marcos Senesi. Next, Crystal Palace, Romain Esi. Whew. Now, relax. This is my hot take of the video, please. I think this guy is you close your eyes and look at him, and you just know this guy is a quintessential Crystal Palace winger. You look at Palace wingers from 2015. You look at Yannick Bolat. You look at Wilfred Zaha. You look at Eze. You look at Olise. What do these guys have in common? They are entertainers. They willingly take on their man, whether they lose the ball or not. They keep pressing their president of, yeah, I want you one on one. I think this guy is a nasty dribbler. He's so good, especially at cutting in. But the only problem with him is a bit more. It has more to do with his end product. I think he's just a kid here. He's so young, but for someone of his potential range, he would have to pick up a lot, or he have to pick up a lot more goal scoring actions. That's goals or assists or whatever it is, because it's really, really bad. But I think under the Glasner system, I think he could. The only thing that is stopping him is maybe a bit of trust from the manager, and number two, the acquisition of Henry Pino. But in my opinion, I think Pino is not the same Pino he was during that Villarreal UCL run. I think after he has had a lot of injuries, a handful of injuries in the past 2 years, but I don't think he's the same player, and I think Romain Esse might be able to get a spot in that left 10 role in the 3-4-3 for Glasgow. So yes, I think Romain Esse he might genuinely be like the breakout star of maybe this year. Next, Man United, Patrick Dorgu. Let me keep this short and sweet and simple. Basically for Man United, I think the only person who understands rowing the whole team is Patrick Dorgu, especially under Amorim's system. I think when he was bought in January for 30 mil from Lecce, he was a bit raw, especially when he came into the team, especially with fresh new tactics. Even though he is a left wing back, he showed few flashes of promises, but I think this season he has been more steady. He has been a steady rock in the storm, and that is not easy to say, especially for the Man United we are seeing this season. But for what he has been able to do, I respect it. I'll give it to him for sure. Patrick Dorgu for sure. Next, Nottingham Forest, Dan Ndoye. Now, Dan Ndoye is he's Swiss. He's a Swiss tall progressor of the ball who can strike the life out of the ball. He's electrifying with his pace. Last season for Bologna, he was the catalyst. He was, I think, the main man that helped them win the Coppa Italia. which broke their case for a trophy for how long? Like a lot of years. I think Dan Ndoye he's a very good player. I think maybe he could hit about 8 goals, 10 goals in the Premier League for sure. Especially in the system Andrew like to play, where it's more expansive football and the front line press from the front. He's one of the best pressers in Europe, if I'm not mistaken. I think Dan Ndoye can leave a sprint this season for Nottingham Forest for sure. Next, Brighton, Yasin Ayari. Now, I honestly don't know why. Yasin Ayari is he's a Swiss Army knife. He's the next James. You know that's the best way I can explain him. He does a little bit of the passing, a little bit of the progressing. He has a good tackle on him. The IQ on the game is up there. He's positionally aware. What else can you want from a 21-year-old bossing it up in your midfield? Of course, the plaudits will all go to Baleba because he's the actual destroyer. But the pivot helped Baleba release a lot of stress. And I think that this guy maybe in 2-3 years might not be playing for Brighton, and I won't be shocked. I think Yasin Ayari is especially, and even in the Swedish system, I won't be shocked if he gets a call up for next year's World Cup for sure. Next, Leeds United, Wilfred Yonto. I can cast my mind back to 2 years ago when this guy scored, I think, 2 goals or a goal. I remember him scoring a low-driven goal at Old Trafford. He was celebrating, smiling a lot. How the mighty have fallen. After Leeds were relegated that season, he had a dispute with the team, and basically said he won't want to play for the badge again. But again, they didn't get suitors for the price that he wanted. They wanted, so they basically had to stack it out. Last season he was a bit okay, but I think this season he's going to be playing for a contract, and not a contract for Leeds, but I think he'll be playing for a contract at a step up club in the Premier League. So that could be maybe a Brighton or West Ham, a Bournemouth or something, or maybe a Spurs. You might never know, or an Aston Villa. He's going to be playing for a contract. He's going to be playing for a move basically, and I think he could. He's a very fast, short, stocky, twitchy winger who is he's a bit more of like a one-trick pony a little bit, but yes, he's a good player, and I think if Leeds are supposed to do anything this season, he will be a very big catalyst for that. Next, Manchester City, Oscar Bob. I think we all remember a year ago after during the FA Cup where no yes after the FA Cup, not the FA Cup, the Community Shield, where they announced his injury, his leg fracture, which basically cancelled the rest of the season for him. I think for next season he's going to, not even next season, for this season. This season is like a bounce back year for Oscar Bob. It's basically like actual rookie season. I think he'll have the right hand side on lock, because I think he's technically speaking, he's up there with the best in the Premier League for technique. And Oscar, he's just a joy to watch. He's just such a joy to watch, and you can tell how much Pep really likes him. And for you to have Pep singing your praises all the time, I have to respect it. I think Oscar Bob would do bits for City this year for sure. Next, Burnley, Florentino Luis. When this guy touted like 5 years ago to be going to maybe either Real Madrid and the likes of Juventus and Real Madrid and PSG, what happened? I think this bloke, Florentino Luis is he's still a good player, even though he's a bit riddled with injuries. he's still a very good player. He's a destroyer. He's mainly a destroyer, a lanky destroyer. Um, yeah, I think if Burnley are supposed to do something this year, I still think they are going to relegate it. But of course, he didn't sign permanently. It was a loan. I know for a fact this guy's ego can't take playing the championship for sure. So yes, I think if he could be the breakout person for Burnley, it's so hard to pick, but I think out of anyone, I think he could be the breakout person. If you asked me this question before the start of the window, I would have said Luka Kolyosho because I really that guy is a promising talent. But again, I digress. So yes, I'm going for Florentino Luis for Burnley. Next, Brentford, Mikel Damsgaard. Mikel Damsgaard basically give the Premier League blue balls or Premier League fans blue balls or basically Brentford fans blue balls. After that magical run with Denmark during the 2020 Euros, I think we was played 2021. The 2020 Euros, he after leading he leading the team to the semi-finals against England and still losing. After that, he was purchased by Brentford, came to the club and either hasn't been he hasn't been deployed well, and the people in front of him were just better because he came the year before Ivan Toney left for Al Ahly, and he's been there for about 3 years now. Fortunately for Damsgaard, he's being given the keys to the he's being given the keys now basically because Mbeumo's left, Vincent's left. They are only bringing in um, Dango Ouattara for that 10 role, the 10 role that he likes to play. I think this season he can break out low key and get maybe some 8 8 to 10 assists. I won't be shocked. Damgard is genuinely that creative. I won't lie. I can put money on it for sure. So if you see Damsgaard popping off, don't even be shocked. I can assure you that guy is the real deal, the real package. And don't be shocked if he leaves Brentford too, because maybe they might get relegated. So yes, let me back the Danish Messi, Mikkel Damsgaard. Next, West Ham Crescenzo from Somerville. I swear last year TikTok was just flooded with this guy and his celebration. I mean it's a cold celebration, but this guy was a cold baller. Like he's an edit baller. Like the editors love him. His time at Leeds, or cut and curl, finish shot. Oh, this guy was a king of the crop. Made a transfer to West Ham and started off a bit slow, scored his goal against Man United, I remember, got a little bit of an injury, and came back and, mind you, playing under Julian Lopetegui and Graham Potter that season. The same Julian Lopetegui who put Kudus, a left-footed winger, on the left. The same Lopetegui, of course, you stifle creativity. Graham Potter was appointed. Same thing, different, same melody, different song. Graham Potter he's not it, especially for creative players. He's not it. He's more of a defensive stalwart than anything I would say. But I think this season, especially with Kudus gone and no major wing acquisitions, I think he comes back with the number 7 on his back end, and that's bits of the left wing. I think he can hit maybe 15 Gs. I see that's a realistic thing for Crescencio, and I won't be shocked if he's in a Netherlands squad next season in US for sure. For sure. Next, Newcastle Valentino Livramento. Take out the injuries. Take out the injuries. I think this guy is the next Kieran Trippier. Not even in terms of quality, but in terms of his versatility on the right, on the left. England have been crying out for a left back for time, and they finally got one. I think Livramento, he has a chance this season to stamp himself straight up as the best left back in the Premier League, and I don't think a lot of people will be surprised. If unfortunately this season, because Lewis Hall is back, he would most likely be deployed on the right, but Kieran Trippier is there, so it's always alternating. It's always alternating, but it's just that it's just lovely to have the choice of you playing either flank and not even having a problem with on any, which is crazy. I think Livramento he's up there. He's up there. Left back is one of the weakest positions basically worldwide. He could maybe enter top five combos. Yeah, he could. I genuinely believe so. He could. Next, Fulham, so much crazy. Well, this is the hardest one because I couldn't give it to Kevin because I know jack shit about Kevin. So I had to give it to so much crazy. He would have to fill in the William role from 2 years ago, basically. Just be the exotic right winger who can score bare goals off the left into that top corner. You know how Fulham, you know how Craven Cottage has that netting. The way their netting is particular. It's special. Yes, bended top corner. Boom. Yeah. I think Chukwueze is he he's a bit bigger than not bigger than the club, but I think for his level, he could have done better than Fulham. But for from speaking from Fulham's point of view, I think they have a very good player on their hands, and yes, for sure, he would he also do he would do okay. He would do okay in the Premier League for sure. Next, Aston Villa, Edric Konsa. Now, hot take. I think Konsa is starting in the he will have a starting role in the England squad next year. I think this guy can play left back. Yeah, he can play not left back. He can play right back. He can play centre back. This season he's been deployed more as a centre back, playing with Pau Torres. I think he's he's a bit of a bully. A little bit of a bully. He's technically as stout for a centre back. He's quick. He's a bit rapid, especially, and he's deceptive too. Yeah, he has long legs. He can tackle it. He can tackle a little bit, and going forward too. I think in there he's a bit okay. I think this guy might be entering convos of best of the rest defenders. So what do I mean by that? I mean, you think about best CBs in the league. You think about Van Dijk. You think about Saliba. You think about Gabriel Magalhaes. If we think about these, if you take these three out, best of the rest is up in the area. And people like Romero, Van der Ven, and what have you, and Lenny Euro, and we have a lot of people, but I think he could be like the best of the rest centre backs in the league, and for Edric Konsa, that says a lot. Next, Wolves, João Gomez. Basically a more one word to describe this guy, pitbull. He's basically a more sharp, a chiller version of Lucas Torreira. He's just all up in your face, aggression. He has disciplinary issues. I mean, but he's a destroyer. He'll run his way into the ground. He'll tackle you whether from the back, from the front. He's a destroyer, and he's for his position. He's technically okay. Not even he's nothing extra. But I think for a Wolves team who I think will struggle this season, I think he could be the only bright light or the saving grace in that team. So yes, I'll give that to him. Well, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you think someone else should be the breakout star of that team, let me know in the comments. Just let me know in the comments for sure. Alright. Catch you later. Peace.